What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy quickie. Hey guys, what's up? It's the weekend and welcome to another fantasy quickie with me, JJP and Komish, who is taking care of the baby, doing daddy duty.
Okay.
All right.
I'm okay na because my wife finished her mommy duties. So
Right.
there.
So just for the quickie, Komish will do everything he can to make sure that he is there.
Yes.
All right. Lots of things happening today. Lots of injuries, COVID, of course, but maybe the first order of business today is Kyrie Irving, anticipated to be back with the Brooklyn Nets. I really don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but what's your take on Kyrie? Stay away.
It's funny because last night someone asked that, right? And we said we didn't think that it would happen. And that's how unpredictable the NBA is. I really didn't think that they would allow him to be a road only player. By the way, that's what it is. He's basically just a road player. Stay away in a sense that if you don't have him, don't trade for him. But if he's in your waiver wire, yeah, of course you pick him up. Unless you don't have an IL plus in your leagues. I don't know any league right now that doesn't have an IL plus.
Yeah.
I think the question there is only how many IL plus you have.
Yeah.
Not if you have an IL plus or not. If you have an IL plus, you have to pick him up if he's still available. But let's do the math. He's not gonna be playing this week because he has to do the testing and then practice. Let's say he plays next week or probably January. That will be 23 games left or 22 games. Road games. We're talking about road games. Minus the New York Knicks 2 road games. Toronto and then Golden State where he cannot play. So that's around 19 to 20. Something like that. I counted it around 19 to 20 games where he can play. Is that worth it? I don't know. You guys decide if that's worth it.
Yeah. No. It's
How about you?
It's really going to be plus, with this COVID thing going on, we still, you'll never know. Maybe after 2 to 3 games, like I said, he gets into COVID protocols, and that's pretty much the end of it, right?
Yes.
The thing for me is that I don't have that many. I have only one Kyrie, okay? And I kept him all this time, despite him not being eligible in the IL because we don't have an IL plus in that league.
Okay.
And I'm currently, I think, 7th there.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my plan, and I hope the managers and the other league are not listening or following us. But if he plays the first, let's say, gives me 1 or 2, the first game, I'll try to trade him right away.
Yes. You try to trade him.
Especially if he plays a really good game.
Yes, but for me, you don't even have to wait for him to play.
Actually, I'm already looking at different teams and seeing which players do I want to target. I'll probably can't trade them 1-on-1 because of he's a road player, but at least I can. He's a big piece already in a package that I can dispose of.
The problem if you wait for him to play, there would be games where it's road home, something like that. So when he plays well and then the next game he's out, the managers can sort of feel it. You can feel like, oh, he's out again. Okay, this will not be good because he's a part-time player. They won't feel it really when you're just talking about it, but when you're there already, they would feel it. They would feel this is tough. This is hard to navigate. So that's my suggestion. Even before he comes back, since he's already trending to return, you try to trade him already.
Which player do you think would be a good value?
I really don't know your league how they value Kyrie, but
I don't mind getting a 6th round player. I don't mind that.
I don't think 6th round is
Low.
I think it's high for him, but it's me again. The value is all over the place because some will
Yeah.
value him higher, some will value him lower. But 6 for me is even high. But around 90, around 7th, maybe something like that. Because if you think about it, even the playoffs, you have to look at your playoff schedule because that's this is all about, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at the playoff schedule of the Nets, they have games. They have in the weeks that playoffs are scheduled, whatever your weeks are. There's never a week where they have the 3-game road
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Probably only 2 or 1. So is that worth it? Again, you have to answer. You have to
All right.
answer that
I'll lower my
question.
value a bit. Anyone within the
Yeah.
top 100, I'll take for Kyrie. Or maybe I'll see what I can package. Maybe add another player. Um, it just so happens, the idea of him with Steph seems like a good combo, especially if he plays every game. But yeah, the reality is he won't. So yeah,
Let's I'll just give you an example. Next week, week 10, I probably won't play, but there's 2 road games there. Week 11, there's 1. Week 12, there's 1. Week 13, there's 1. So you see, he probably will come back 11, 12, 13. But each week he will have 1 game only.
Yeah.
That's 3 weeks. That's 3 weeks. So if you look at it that way, even a 6th-round value guy is really not worth it. I'm sorry if Jeremy's co-managers are listening right now. I may destroy the value, but
the plan.
I'm just saying. Look, yeah, the only week 15, he will have he will have 3 road games because they have a 5-game road trip, week 14 to 15. So that week he's gonna be valuable that week. But the other weeks, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think I should try and look for players, for managers who are already in the top who can afford to stash him.
Yes,
right.
That's correct. That's correct.
So yeah. Let's see what happens there. So that's the Kyrie thing that happened today. Klay, well, did the Golden State Warriors did a Jaren Jackson type of thing, delaying Klay's return. He was supposed to play December 28th. I think that was the initial date that they gave out, right?
Yep.
For Klay's return. Now it seems like they're gonna push it back to January. We don't know yet what date. It's all over the place. January 3, 9, and 18 was the target return dates.
December 23 was the first one we heard, and then it became Christmas, right? And then it became December 28th.
Yeah, the last one was 28th. Yeah, before moving it back.
December 28th and January 18 is kind of a big difference.
Yeah, that's why I said it's the targets are all over the place. 3, 9, and 18 aren't really.
What's your bet? 3, 9, or 18?
I think he'll play on the 3rd.
Yeah, me too.
I think he'll play there. There's no. I mean, it's been a while. I mean, other than maybe if he had a setback and all, a minor setback, that's the reason why he's gonna play it on the 18th. But it's gonna be frustrating for managers if he's gonna play on the 18th. That's what 3 more weeks of wait.
Actually, 4 more weeks because we're just in the 18th now.
I mean, talking about the earlier. The last date,
December 28th,
expecting him on the 28th, right? That's pretty much 3 more fantasy weeks missed there. So that's going to be frustrating. It's pretty much another month of wait. But yeah, hopefully January 3 he plays.
I wrote it there. They put those 3 dates just to, because if they put 3 and then they don't play him at January 3, people will get crazy, right? What happened? There would be maybe something happened to him. So they don't want that to happen. Maybe they gave those dates so that, even if he didn't play on the 3, he doesn't play on the 9, you will not think that there's a setback. You will not think there's a problem. So, right? So that's smart for them, but for fantasy, It's really
That's
tough and it's
annoying.
really
That's
bad.
going to be
Yeah,
annoying.
annoying. Yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, right.
Yeah, maybe trade Kyrie for Klay.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'd rather have Clay. I'd
Right?
rather
I
have
mean,
Clay.
you never know. I mean, Kyrie's gonna play, Clay's not.
Mm,
Right? I mean,
yeah,
that's and we haven't really seen much of Clay, so there's still risk there
yeah,
with Clay
yeah.
as well. Um,
Yes.
and the upside are not the same as well. Kyrie's upside is a little better, even though he doesn't
Mm,
play. I mean, that's the selling point, I guess. On Kyrie, the upside is first round value and all those BS. Uh, Injuries. So there's a lot of COVID, but let's talk about injuries first. Two major injuries today.
major. Yeah.
Wendell Carter Jr. was wheelchaired off the floor with a knee injury.
They said leg, lower leg, but I saw it and I felt like it's the knee. So I don't know, whichever it is.
The
It didn't look good.
notes said he banged knees. I forgot
He
which player.
It didn't seem like he banged knees. It seemed like, yeah, he banged in a sense that he tripped. He was tripped, so maybe there was a little bump there.
Mhm.
But it didn't look, major. It didn't look bad when he banged. He just sort of like someone tripped you. But the problem was he could not walk after
Yeah,
that. So either he's like Paul Pierce, the dramatic guy, and over dramatizing things, or it's what we think it is. So
I have two Wendell Carter Jr. So one is the
mm,
Unbox League.
okay.
So we lose that. And one is a very shallow league. It's a 10-team league. So I'm not as worried there. But the Unbox League, I'm a little worried, but
Mm-hmm.
not too much because we're okay still. Uh, but when heard the news or I saw the tweets about him getting injured, I was just hoping. Yeah, I saw him in a wheelchair and all that. I was just hoping this is just a Yanis thing we're in. He'll miss maybe a couple of weeks. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it's just like that, right? Because we've seen Yanis injury and it looks bad, but yeah, he came back. But although, of course, this is Wendell Carter Jr. and we know the history of Wendell Carter Jr. Injury history, and there's a lot there.
Since Yeah, there's a lot there. Actually, that's one thing we may have forgotten this year when we're so happy with what he's been doing.
Yeah,
We've sort of forgotten about his, extensive injury history. He's never played a whole season in his career. So this doesn't look good. And actually, since we're here already, Orlando, Mo Bamba is in COVID protocols.
yeah.
RJ Hampton is in COVID protocols. Cole Anthony sprained ankle, did not play.
Terrence
So
Ross,
Terrence Ross
which
is
I
in COVID
added
I told
supposedly
you.
for this back to back.
I told you. When there's someone who plays well and you recommend them, people add them, and then the next day when you wake up, they're in COVID protocols.
I
And
added him for this back to back. They have a back to back, right?
yes, and
Um,
I'll give you the names of the people who played today for Orlando. I am 100% sure that you probably do not know a lot of them. Mike Mulder probably is the guy that you know.
Mike Mulder, yeah,
You
we've
probably know
heard of
Mike
him. Yeah,
Mulder. But Admiral Schofield, I think you've heard of
yeah,
him
yeah, yeah, yeah.
with Washington. Something Ford, Gravett, and something
DJ
B
Ford.
Johnson. No, it's not BJ. It's Alim Ford. It's Alim Ford. It's
I'm not sure if
BJ Johnson.
listeners know TJ Ford.
And then there's this guy, Hassani Gravett. I don't know if you can see his picture there. He's like I don't know if you can see him, but
He's
he's
like
like
Nick Mannion.
yes. Hassani Gravett. I don't know where these guys came from, who they are. I
Maybe
haven't.
the G League. There have been reports that the NBA is considering having teams sign more players
Yes,
because of this COVID thing.
the rule right now would be with the new COVID thing that NBA the teams can sign 10-day contracts that they would not count against their salary cap. So that would be big. That would be big.
Yeah.
That would help them, and they could extend, I think, the roster spots.
Yeah. You know,
Beyond
very
that.
annoying if you bought tickets to a game expecting to see, the big guns.
Expecting to see
Like you
Suggs.
see, I mean, if you bought a game wherein, let's say, the Brooklyn Nets are playing and you expect to see James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving, and then you end up seeing Nick Claxton, Blake Griffin, Patty
Actually,
Mills.
actually, that's already better. Today's Miami Orlando game, you're probably thinking Bam, Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero
Yeah.
versus, even Jalen Suggs as a good rookie. Cole Anthony has been good. Bamba, and then you get Gravett, Johnson,
Well, at least you have
Jokiel,
Kyle
Ford.
Lowry.
Yeah, you're at 7, Garrett, Okpala. These are the guys you saw. And
Yeah.
you're probably this is even worse than watching a college game. But
Not even, and it would have been nice if the game was close.
it wasn't close
And
either.
yeah, so it wasn't close as well. So yeah, but
Ah,
anyway, yeah, Wendell Carter Jr. Have to wait and see as always. As if the COVID thing is not enough, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. More concerning injury report is Anthony Davis.
yeah. And I own
Um,
Anthony Davis in the Unbox League in our team.
you,
So our Unbox teams are taking a hit.
yeah, and I think we also have Rashawn Holmes there.
We have
Uh,
homes. We have four for those.
uh,
So 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 we're in trouble.
yeah.
In other
But yeah,
words,
but Anthony Davis, yeah, knee. I think he initially was an ankle, and then he returned, and then yeah, a knee injury. Hopefully, it doesn't look as bad as Wendell Carter's, but again, this is Anthony Davis, and
it doesn't look as bad, but Anthony Davis's reaction is worse. I mean, did you see the thing in
no,
the
no,
dugout? He went to the dugout. The camera followed him. He was walking, and then he fell, and then it's like he collapsed. So the reports was Anthony Davis collapsed in the
well,
dugout.
well,
Well, yeah, technically he collapsed, but
Wendell Carter Jr. was wheelchaired. If he stood up there, he might have collapsed. If he,
well, but if you read it, you say, "Oh, Wendell Carter Jr. wheelchair. Anthony Davis collapsed." And you see what happened. He collapsed. So, but
uh,
but yeah, the reports are that the structure of the knee is okay. We'll find out later because they're gonna do more imaging, but at least the structure seems okay. I think it could be a sprain, probably like Jamorant's, probably less
hopefully,
severe than Jamorant's because it was not non-contact. It's the fault of LeBron. LeBron pushed Jared Vanderbilt. No, it's true. I mean, Anthony Davis was coming to give a pick. LeBron pushed Jared Vanderbilt and he fell on the knee of Anthony Davis. So, it's LeBron's fault.
yeah.
So,
I'm just disappointed because in our two leagues, I really felt good coming in this season that I'm gonna do well. Then in that dynasty league, I'm being
yeah.
killed by Kumish. Because man, Bam Adebayo, Rashawn Holmes, who do I have there? I think
You said
I probably need to drop Dwight after this week. I mean,
you're
I
holding
mean,
Dwight
no,
Howard.
no, no, Kawhi.
Kawhi. You have to drop Kawhi. I think it's although it's a dynasty league, so it's tough.
Yeah, I
It's
know,
tough. So
right?
you have to look long term, I guess. You have to look long term.
Uh, yeah, and I have another player who's also injured. So really, really bad. And then on the other league, I have Anthony Davis, and it's like deja vu because last year I also had Anthony Davis. In that league, but this league, this my team there is a little better than last year's team. So
In
hopefully,
fairness, in fairness to Anthony Davis, as people said, it's not about being brittle or injury prone. I mean, anybody who gets banged in the knee like that, they're gonna
would
get
have, yeah,
injured. Yeah, they're
yeah,
gonna get injured. It's just a fluke injury. Like, especially they're big. You stand up, somebody hits your knee will crumple, will buckle, right? So
yeah.
you can't do anything about that. It's a fluke injury.
Yeah, and of course, COVID still. on the loose in the NBA. Many people are asking if they should add another IL plus or whatnot. Well,
Mm-hmm.
we're not a fan of changing any league settings in the middle of the season. So no, in our fantasy benchwarmers league, we won't do that. Um, if you
But
are thinking about changing your IL to IL plus, you can't do that in Yahoo. You cannot do
okay.
that. So that's already out of the
But I
option.
have a question to ask you because some people are saying that we put too few IL or IL plus. Do you think if you're gonna start a new one this now at this point, do you think it was too few that we have to add one or two more IL or IL
Uh
plus?
no.
Yeah,
It's
me
okay. I mean, it will never be enough.
yeah, true.
Even if I put 3 or 4 IL plus there, some teams will never find it enough, right? Um, because some teams have 4 or 5 players who are out, and um, right, and they're gonna
And
they're gonna stash all of those, and that gives a little more, I don't know, just too much stashing there, which I don't like.
and IL plus is very what you call it, very lax. The if you're just out or you've just
Yeah, if
game
you're
time
on
decision.
COVID, the good thing with Yahoo is if you're on COVID, they already put you on IL. So you don't really need the IL
Mm.
plus for COVID. So if you're worried about the COVID thing, that's not even the problem. So, if you would think that, I'd
No, I
rather have
guess
IL plus than IL. If you're on
I
COVID, you can put him on IL
yeah,
already.
but looking at the list that we put out, that's not even the complete list. There's more players in COVID.
Yeah.
So the possibility that someone has three or four of those players very high. So
Yeah.
that I think that was their concern, that how can they compete if they only have one IL, right? That's what
True.
they're saying. But but
Well,
but for me, for
it
me,
will never be enough. That's just
yes,
my take. It will never be enough.
yes,
You add
that's true.
3, 4, um, it
You know,
happens, right? It's just
what I would actually propose is only moves. That would be what I would propose. I'll probably think that maybe in the future we could remove the moves limit as long
yeah,
as COVID is here, because that's the way for me that you could probably balance things out, that you can just add because you add someone and then they go to COVID protocols, you waste a move. So
yeah,
it hinders your chance to to recover. So to give people chance to recover, maybe you remove the moves
yeah,
limit so that they can just add if someone's in COVID, like a Terrence Ross, like Jeremy, he got him and then COVID, then you can just drop him right away and pick up somebody else.
yeah.
So
That's
that
one
that
adjustment. But
yeah, that's the
again,
adjustment I would think.
another thing is maybe in hindsight, we could have added more IL or do this and that. But I don't think many really expected that
COVID.
there would be this many, right? I
I
mean,
did not. I did not. Yeah.
this is worse than last year,
This is worse. This is officially worse than last year. Yes.
right? This is worse than last year.
Yes.
And who would have thought that it will be worse, right? No
Not
one
me.
I don't think anyone thought it would be worse than last year.
Mm-hmm.
Many felt that, we're getting better, the situation's getting better. In fairness, though, I think there are a lot more asymptomatic cases in the NBA. So, unlike last year, there were really major symptoms for some of the players. Van Fleet, right, had COVID. Tatum had COVID and was slow to recover, and a lot more said that they had difficulty recovering immediately.
Yes. And
This year is yeah.
last year I think there were two teams, if I remember, Toronto and Philly, that had I think almost
Washington, I think, also had some
something like that.
postponements,
But this year it's almost so many teams already,
and
and
they
we're not
were
even halfway through the season.
in last year. It didn't happen this fast.
Yes, yes. Not one day after the other that
Yeah, it didn't
it
happen this
happened.
fast. It
Yeah.
it happened, intervals, right? There were intervals, days, maybe a week before another one was found. unless it's a real outbreak where there were a lot immediately found. But yeah, it didn't happen as fast. I think the overwhelming part this year is that it happened so fast. Like looking at the Nets, in 2 days, half their team were in COVID protocols. Right?
Yeah. But going back to that, I think not all in people in COVID protocols tested positive. Some are just, for contact tracing. For instance, Josh Richardson played today. He was in COVID protocols the other day, but he played right away. So I don't think we were speculating that maybe he was vaccinated. So or is it false positive? I think it's not. I think it's some are not positive but are in contact tracing. So they put him in isolation and then test him. If it's negative, then they allow him.
Yeah.
And that might be what happened. I don't know with Russell Westbrook, because he ended up not missing a game. He played today.
Yeah.
But Malik Monk, this is what confuses me. Malik Monk was put in COVID protocols and then he was released from COVID protocols and then returned to COVID protocol. So I don't know what's happening. It's confusing.
Joseph, one of our followers, pointed out, Al Horford was in COVID protocol before.
He tested positive October in training camp.
Yeah, and
he tested positive.
He got into COVID protocol, and he was wondering where does the immunity come from, given that he is back in COVID protocol. So
and he tested positive. We don't know the others, but it was clear from Horford's case that he tested positive in October. He tested positive now.
Yeah,
so that's 2 months. That's just 2 months. So
Yeah. So that's what if there's anything about this that we can learn from, is that it's not yet. This could be reflective of the real world out there. So you have to stay safe all the time, and still take the necessary precautions, I guess, when it comes to COVID. Anyway, what else? Yeah, mostly COVID. Who's the best ad here? Malik Beasley is an ad for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yes.
Because Anthony Edwards is out. Yeah. And the Knicks are depleted. So let's go one by one. So the Boston Celtics have Horford, Grant Williams, Jabari Parker, and Hernan Gomez out. Yeah.
A lot of people added Enes Kanter, Enes Freedom, but probably in deeper leagues. In shallower leagues with Robert Williams there, he's not gonna play together with Robert Williams anyway. So he's not gonna be like Horford. So he's not gonna be able to add, a lot of minutes. So maybe like Josh Richardson, as I said a while ago, maybe they start Jalen and Tatum at 3 and 4 position and play small. Although Schroeder is also out, but non-COVID. It's an illness. So now the problem is we're dealing with COVID, we're dealing with flu.
And
so,
the illness thing, the non-COVID illness thing, has also been rampant in the NBA.
Yes.
There have been a lot. It seems to be that and the thumb and COVID. Mm-hmm. Those 3 injuries have been there. And like I said, we're talking about Enes Freedom. The only team that uses Enes Freedom well is Portland Trailblazers.
Mm-hmm.
No other team uses him. His strengths, I don't think there's any team out there where he has been fantasy relevant other than the Portland Trailblazers. And even if he goes back to Portland now, I don't think he's going to be fantasy relevant because it's a new coach, new system. Anyway, Deep League, Enes Freedom. For the Warriors, it's Jordan Poole, who is out. Not much there, I guess.
Yeah, not much.
With the core group still healthy.
They started Moses Moody. Didn't play well. Gary Payton has not been getting a lot of minutes. Lee probably was the guy who's been playing relatively better, but they have so many other guys. And tomorrow they're gonna miss Poole, Curry, Draymond, Wiggins, Iguodala. They're gonna rest all of those players. They're gonna rest all those players. I guess
I can't believe it, Steph. I can't believe it.
I guess he can go pick up Damian Lee because who's left? Kevon Looney,
Otto Porter.
I mean, Porter is not playing also.
Oh.
So they're just basically tanking tomorrow. I don't know why the NBA allows this. I mean, given all these COVID things. But anyway, that's ranting already. But I guess Damian Lee is the, the lone scorer left. So if you,
Wait,
he
so
might
Steph
get
is
30.
not gonna play tomorrow.
Yes. Steph is not gonna play for
So
rest management.
he's not gonna be playing anymore for the rest of the week.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
they don't have a game on Monday. That's
Yes.
like I said,
Yes.
why does Steph do this
In
crucial moments?
in fairness, though, that Kevin Durant is also out more, and they put some injury there, but obviously it's also a rest thing because Kevin Durant has a back-to-back. He's not gonna play tomorrow. I think he's gonna play on Monday. That's my guess. Steph had the game today, so he's not gonna play tomorrow, which is the second half of the back-to-back. So it's the same thing.
But
You know,
I'm just annoyed
whatever.
at the timing because timing of Steph's.
Oh no, the Jeremy.
I'm
the
down. I'm
disappoint.
down in those two leagues wherein I have Steph, and I need him to play, and he won't be playing. So that kills my
Yeah.
chances of winning.
Well,
I'm down, not big, but I'm down 4-5. Yeah, your top player doesn't play, so I'm always tempted to already trade
Steph. but he already was thinking of resting the first back-to-back. The New York game, before the New York game, they had a back-to-back then, and he didn't rest. I think because he wants chasing the 3-point record.
And you know why I'm pissed with Steph resting and not pissed with Durant resting? Because I have Durant in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
It's because when Durant plays, he gives great numbers. And when Steph plays, well, he gives good numbers, but not as consistently as Durant. And that's the annoying part there. Anyway, so yeah. The Lakers have a lot in COVID protocol. But yeah, I guess the major player, none of these though are really big fantasy contributors. Maybe it would just be annoying if you added Austin Reeves after a great game the other day.
I told you. But I guess the person people want to talk about is Isaiah Thomas. 19 points in 22 minutes.
Talked about that.
19 points in 22 minutes, so everybody's happy. For me, it was a blowout. I mean, it was a blowout. So he got, I think 8 or 10 points
and
of those 19 in the fourth quarter. So yeah, you can pick him if you want the 16 teams. Okay, but if you're in a 14-team league, even if you're in a 16-team league, don't drop anybody of consequence for Isaiah because it's a 10-day contract. Remember that.
Yeah. And
when Monk comes back, when Taylor Horton Tucker comes back, Ariza, by the way, is about to debut already. Anytime. So I don't even know if he's gonna stay in the roster. I feel like he could be waived. Yeah. I say eventually. So it's okay if you want to use him now, but just don't drop anybody good for Isaiah Thomas.
Like I said, it's 10-day contract. I doubt he's gonna get extended.
Me too.
Unless the Lakers would still miss the other players. But yes, I think this is the first of the one that we were talking about, the NBA allowing 10-day contracts wouldn't really count in their salary cap. So maybe this is the first instance of that happening. We talked about Minnesota losing Anthony Edwards due to COVID. Malik Beasley is the biggest ad there, and Malik Beasley has been okay. One of the specialists, I guess, that you usually add as a stream.
Yes.
So now you can, add him for a little longer, 10 days or maybe a couple of weeks. The Knicks.
Emmanuel Quickley is the new guy in protocols with Obi Toppin,
Kevin Knox
RJ Barrett.
Actually is another guy that
Knox.
We were thinking, could have some value with RJ Barrett out. But the biggest ad is Miles McBride.
Yes.
So they have a game tomorrow. So it's going to be interesting because we talked about him and we said that Commission felt that he's a really good player.
Yes. Derrick Rose is questionable. So given they're out 8 players already. I think Miles McBride should start with Fournier. Quickly, I guess showering with the mask on is not enough because I don't know how he got into COVID protocols. But Miles McBride, add him everywhere. Even in 12 teams, I think he could be added.
Orlando has RJ Hampton, Terrence Ross, Bo Wagner, and Mo Bamba.
Did you drop your Gary Harris?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you have to add him again.
Because I forgot who I added him for. I think if I'm not mistaken, I dropped Terrence Ross again. I added Miles McBride.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay.
Because I had some moves still. So even if Miles didn't play well tomorrow, I could still, add another one for Monday.
Yeah.
But I think there is one league wherein I only have one more move left. So I'm thinking if I should add a player with only one game tomorrow or a player with a back-to-back. So that's my thing. And the challenge there is I needed blocks. So there's really not much there to get for the blocks. Anyway, I'll after this, I do my lineup checks after this. Brooklyn Nets, we all know who's out in Brooklyn, and still the same guys. Blake, Claxton, and tomorrow KD. I think is it tomorrow KD would be out.
Yeah, tomorrow KD will be out. He's not gonna play tomorrow. Hopefully he plays on Monday. Patty Mills
would be the big beneficiary there, and maybe Blake could have a bigger game.
Yeah, Claxton is also questionable, by the way.
There you go.
He has some, I don't know what his leg or something, but I don't know, maybe he plays through it. Orlando, of course, Chuma Okiki. I guess we're talking about bye players already. Almost all bye players are from COVID anyway. So Chuma is a main add. 6 steals, 1 block today, 18 points, 10 rebounds. Wendell Carter goes down. Mo Bamba is out. And, nobody's left. So Okiki there, Gary Harris, and Robin Lopez. Those three are the ads that I think you could look at in Orlando.
In Chicago, some players have been out for a while. Zach LaVine has been out for a while. Derek Jones has been out for a while. So they're close to returning.
They've been allowed to practice today. I mean, US time today. I just saw it now that they've allowed them to practice. So they're on schedule to play on Monday versus the Lakers. I did not release my Week 10 analyzer. I forgot about it. I forgot to release it. I guess I will release it on Monday. But just for a spoiler, Chicago is one of the better schedules next week. And next week, very few games. So it's Christmas week. Very few games. So if your guys are down,
there's not much there in Chicago, to be honest.
Well, I mean, they're missing 7 players, so you never know. Maybe somebody steps up. Kobe White. People love Kobe White, so let's see.
Yeah. Chicago has had a pretty long rest.
Yes.
Probably a week or so. Cleveland lost Isaac Okoro, as we said the other day. Shedai Osman should be a player that you should watch out for. Caleb Martin in Miami. Miami's really, not really dealing with COVID, but more of the injuries.
And I'm happy with Gabe Vincent.
Yeah. Max Truss has played well.
Max Truss today had 7 threes, but he has not played well before today. Gabe Vincent has been consistent.
Yeah.
So 27 points, I think, 4 assists. So we had a listener yesterday ask a question about Gabe. I think he probably was thinking twice already about dropping him after today's game.
I think it's still a little too because he's gonna stream.
Yeah, he's gonna stream the spot. I'm in the same position. I have Gabe Vincent, and I plan to drop him, but he's playing so well, and I'm just keeping him.
Does he have a game on Monday?
I think yes. I think he has a game on Monday.
Yeah. I think he's probably going to be a hold if he has a game on Monday. So
let me see. His next game is Monday. Yeah, Monday.
So the
versus
Bucks,
Detroit.
yeah, so that's gonna be a feast for those players. For Detroit, it's Giannis, Bobby Portis, Grayson Allen had 7 threes today. And I'm happy I picked him up in, I think, the invitationals.
Hope you listened to us. Told you about Grayson Allen.
Jordan Nora and DeMarcus also played his first game. Is this his first game? Right?
First game. No, his first game, he missed the last game. This is not his first game. He missed the last game.
He missed the last
first
game. So he played today.
And what we said about what will happen in Milwaukee happened. We said DeMarcus will start. Noira will play small ball 4. And because he plays small ball 4, he's going to get a lot of rebounds. He got 10 rebounds today. He got a double-double. So 3 steals and a block. And as I said, Grayson or Noira. Grayson will give you 3 points. Noira would give you more all the other stats because he's going to play small ball 4. And that's what happened today. But Chris Middleton is coming back soon. So that might affect
hopefully tomorrow. But Philadelphia has Georges Niang. Not much there really. Not a big loss. Sacramento, Chimezi Metu should be added. He had another double today. Although he shot poorly at 5 of 15. But we'll take that. He had a good across the board line, even with the defensive stats. So
we're happy we're happy our recommendations have panned out. Because Metu was another guy that wasn't being added. And we did say
there are still a lot of Metus out there.
And I think I just felt that Metu was gonna be one of the guys who will benefit. Davion Mitchell actually is the new guy in COVID for Sacramento. So that allowed Metu to start.
Yeah.
We don't know who's next. Well, let's see.
Let's see tomorrow morning which player will surprise us. But look out for those teams wherein there's just so far 1 or 2 under COVID protocols. Because if the teams with 7 or 6 or 7 players, I think that's the max that hopefully. Yeah. But for those teams that are 1 or 2, it seems surreal that they only have 1 or 2 players in COVID protocols, right? I mean, given that they played each other or they practice together and all of those things. That's a quick rundown.
Wait. There's a report already with Wendell Carter. It's a lower leg muscle strain, so that's good. It's not a major injury. That's good news. Let's give Jeremy a little smile. He's processing it, so it's doubtful, but that's good. This is good.
Did he have an MRI?
Yes, this is MRI result.
All right, okay.
It's a muscle strain.
Sometimes, the report and the way he went out just didn't align, right? And sometimes you feel like, is it really a muscle strain or
it's an MRI?
All right, okay. So let's.
So I guess some people I told you some people just have Paul Pierce pain tolerance, right? Or Paul Pierce dramatics. So I hope the next report would be Anthony Davis, and hopefully it's also good news. Let's wait for that.
Keep our fingers crossed. That's it for Daily Fantasy Quickie on this Saturday night. And we'll see you again tomorrow for our Sunday Quickie as we get to the end of week 9 and get closer to that halfway mark. See you again tomorrow, guys. Bye.
Bye.